You know, there's a fine line when making an action comedy that's hard to draw. Guys like Edgar Wright really know what they're doing. Sometimes. You want to be over the top enough to let audiences know you're on the joke, but gory enough that they take the action seriously. Unfortunately, Boy Kills World rarely strikes the balance. It's not funny enough to be a comedy, and the action is so mind-numbingly repetitive that it becomes a bore. Someone should have told director Moritz Moore he wasn't quite up to the job. Then again, considering his limited experience, maybe he's still blossoming as a filmmaker. There were certainly nuggets of promise here, they just never coalesced into a greater whole. Well, Boy Kills World takes place in an unnamed city ruled by the ruthless Vanderkoy family. The matriarch, Hilda Vanderkoy, played by Femke Janssen as though she's auditioning for a different movie, has cleansed the city of crime by taking any malefactors and placing them in the Culling, a sort of cartoon-themed Hunger Games with less charm or budget. One day, Hilda guns down an entire family in the streets and leaves them for dead, only for the young son to be saved by the mysterious shaman, a martial arts master dedicated to her downfall. For the next 10 years, the boy trains to become the perfect weapon. His only goal? Kill Hilda Vanderkoy and avenge his loved ones. Pretty simple setup, but there's just one problem. It doesn't pay off very well. Bill Skarsgård as the boy all grown up with his whip-like physique and puppy dog eyes delivers a wonderful performance, especially considering he's not allowed to talk. He's so expressive and his on-screen fighting is amazing. The guy worked his butt off and it shows. And having John Benjamin from Bob's Burgers do his inner monologue was a nice comedic touch. But the meat never meets the bones. The action is well choreographed, but aside from a few short scenes, it comes across more gratuitous than clever. Violence should never insist on itself for itself's sake. This makes Quentin Tarantino look restrained. And at least he understands Chekhov's Boo Berry. If you show a psychotic cereal mascot in the trailer, he better do something pretty cool by the end of the movie. No such luck here. By the time you see your fifth disemboweling in an hour, you're left wondering why you're there. The trailer promised a self-aware violent romp, but chickened out on the self-awareness and went for gore with no brains. The promise of a ninja gun-fooing his way through Captain Crunch ripoffs was the coolest thing in the trailers, but was so bland when viewed in its entirety, I was checking my watch. How do you not get more creative with that setup? Edgar Wright would have had a field day with this material. On the plus side, it was cool to see martial arts great Yayan Ruhian as the shaman showing off his skills instead of, showing up to do nothing and get eaten by a space testicle like in Force Awakens. Because yeah, I'm still mad about that JJ. And, okay, the action being in camera instead of shaky, sterile, green screen editing nightmares like the Marvels or Expendables 4 was a welcome change. But the movie feels cobbled together from half-finished ideas, and I have to wonder, if it wasn't for the actors and writer strikes last year leaving Hollywood in the lurch for releasable material, if it wouldn't have just gone straight to streaming instead of a theatrical release. While I'm sure we'd all like to see more variety and fewer bloated Disney releases, niche Netflix leftovers like this aren't going to put many butts in seats. There were 3 people in my viewing on a weekend, and I was one of them. It didn't help that the final twist was so predictable that unless you lick your own boogers, you could have figured it out from the trailer. That twist, when viewed in light of the rest of the movie, makes so little sense that I had to wonder if they suddenly realized they had written themselves into a corner and weren't given enough time to fix it. I know, a movie like this is all about the excessive violence and the wry humor. And some of it really works, but nothing feels properly finished. And maybe that's why I'm being so hard on it. I can see the greatness that was left unrealized. With a little extra creativity, this could have been one of the all-time greatest cult classics. As it is, if you're a fan of comedies that forget they're funny and want wonderfully choreographed fights you'll tire of before the credits roll, this is the movie for you, and it ought to do especially well with TikTokers who pull the wings off of flies and whose attention span is measured in clips instead of thumbnails. All I can say is, Boss Level and Hot Fuzz did it better. Just wait to watch it at home after the kiddies are in bed. You can thank me later. Well, that's it for now from Hughes Reviews. If you want more videos like this, like, subscribe, and until next time, happy viewing!